Alien princess defended by human warrior queen. Won't allow his death. Plasma bolts scorched the air as the lead hover sled exploded in a shower of debris. Sergeant Mason Rourke shoved Princess Asha Vale behind the nearest market pillar. Stone chips flew from the impact. Her escort crumpled. 4 aliens down in the first volley. "Stay down!" Rourke barked. He stepped forward, rifle up. Blaster fire converged on him. The street turned kill box. Corsairs poured from alleys, energy weapons spitting death. Drake's raiders Rourke recognized the jagged insignia. They targeted the princess. Her capture meant war, succession, crisis for the vile throne. Rourke fired controlled bursts. One raider dropped, clutching a smoking chest plate. He drew fire away from Asha. Her guards rallied behind overturned stalls. But they faltered. Alien tactics favored precision shields, not this chaos. He counted the rhythm. Shooters paused every 3 seconds to reload. Plasma whined. Then, silence. Rourke rushed the gap. Boots pounded pavement slick with spilled market goods. He closed on the lead attacker, a hulking corsair with detonator vest primed. The raider spun. Rourke slammed into him low. They crashed against a fruit cart. Rourke wrapped his arm in a non-lethal choke. The corsair gurgled, claws scrabbling at Rourke's helmet. Rourke stripped the detonator with his free hand. Thumb flicked the arming switch off. He twisted, drove a knee into the raider's spine. The alien went limp. Asha's voice cut through. "Sergeant, behind." Second squad opened up from the rooftop. Bolts rained down. Rourke rolled free as the pillar exploded. Asha lunged from cover. Her slender arms, ridged with iridescent scales, hauled him behind a toppled awning post. She moved fast for royalty. Her envoy robes torn. Rourke nodded once. Good pull. Her wide eyes, multifaceted like her mother's, locked on him. You charged them. Standard drill. He popped his rifle's energy cell, swapped a fresh one. 20% left. Enough. Escort survivors laid suppressing fire. 3 guards, wounded. Rourke scanned. 6 Corsairs ground level, 4 above. Drake's work hit hard. Grab the prize. Vanish. He sighted the rooftop leader. Single shot. The Corsair tumbled. Weapon. Clattering. Asha whispered. How? Our scanners missed them. Humans don't scan. We look. Rourke fired again. Another rooftop down. Corsairs pressed. 1 flanked left. Rourke pivoted, dropped him mid-stride. Asha's guards pushed forward. Emboldened, the street cleared in bursts. Rourke advanced, pillar to pillar. Asha stuck close, her sidearm drawn but unused. She deferred. Last Corsair bolted for a speeder bike. Rourke's shot clipped the engine. It erupted. No escape. Silence fell. Smoke curled from bodies. Market crowd emerged cautious, murmuring in the lilting Vale tongue. Asha straightened. You saved us. All of us. Rourke slung his rifle. Escort's job. Med drones whirred in from Palace response. Guards saluted Asha, eyes flicking to Rourke with alien unease. His blocky human frame mismatched their elegant forms. They loaded wounded. Asha gripped Rourke's arm. Come. Mother must hear this. Palace halls gleamed under crystal vaults. Queen Sarava Vale waited in the throne chamber, her crown a lattice of glowing spines. Marshal Keth Ral stood rigid beside her, mandibles clicking disapproval. Asha burst in. Mother! Corsairs ambushed the convoy. Sergeant Rourke. Rourke. Sarava raised a clawed hand. Report stands, daughter. Human mercenary turned the tide. Rourke stood at attention. No salute, their customs differed. He met her gaze. Sarava's eyes held calculation. Not gratitude. Kethral stepped forward. Mercenary, he exposed the princess. Drew fire like bait. Palace embarrassment if she died under human watch. Asha bristled. He saved me, Marshal. Charged their lines alone. Keth's scales flushed dull. Humans charge. We plan. This reeks of recklessness. Drake's raiders flee because we scatter. Not because one brute. Enough. Sarava's voice cut steel. She studied Rourke. Sergeant. Your contract permits lethal force? Defensive only, Your Majesty. Rourke kept tone even. Odds were 10-6. Routine. Grode. Routine. Sarava echoed. Her mandibles parted in what passed for a smile. Keth fears embarrassment. I see asset. Drake targets succession. Asha's capture ends my line. Keth hissed. Then execute him. Prevent scandal. Off-worlder meddling. Marshal. Sarava turned. You distrust humans because they lack our grace. Yet they endure. Rourke endures. Asha nodded fervent. He stripped the detonator bare-handed. No fear. No. About nosent. Rourke shifted. Politics brewed. Keth eyed him like threat. Sarava rose. Sergeant Rourke. You serve until Drake falls. Prove loyalty beyond contract. Keth sputtered. Majesty. He. Weaponize mercy, Marshal. Or lose the throne. Sarava dismissed them. Corridors echoed as Rourke followed Asha. Guards trailed, wary. He hates you, Asha said. Rourke shrugged. Hate's fine. Results matter. Alarms blared. Palace shook. Raid! Corsairs breach outer walls. Keth's voice boomed over comms. All units, to ramparts. Human, stand down. Rourke ignored. He broke into run. Asha matched stride. They hit the battlements. Corsairs swarmed skies, speeder pods, raining troops. Drake's banner led. Keth directed from tower. Shields up. Precision fire. On reflings that. One flangs that arde. On reflangs. On reflangs. Raiders punched through. Bolts hammered barriers. Veil troops fired elegant volleys, but Corsairs adapted, flinging EMP grenades. Rourke vaulted a barricade. Princess, with me. Asha hesitated, then followed. Mother's orders. Pods slammed down. Corsairs disgorged, blades out. Rourke met the first wave. He parried a vibro axe. Countered with rifle butt. Skull cracked. Next raider lunged. Rourke sidestepped. Tripped him into his own pod blast. Asha fired beside him. Her shots true but slow. They're everywhere. Count rhythms again. Rourke shoved her behind a shield generator. He rushed a gap. Raiders reloading in sync. 3 down in chokeholds. He stripped explosives. Piled them. Keth watched from afar, mandibles agape. Veil troops rallied, mimicking Rourke's rushes. Drake's pod landed central. The captain bellowed, The princess! For concessions! Rourke charged. Drake swung a power maul. Rourke ducked, fired point blank. Maul grazed his shoulder, armor held. Drake roared. Filthy human. Rourke grappled close. Choke applied. Drake thrashed. Stronger. But Rourke's grip locked. Human muscle versus alien fury. Asha covered him, dropping 2 flankers. Yield. Drake slumped. Rourke stripped his comms. He's done. Corsairs broke. Pods retreated under veil counterfire. Keth approached slow. You. Turned route to victory. Rourke released Drake to binders. Team effort. Sarava arrived with honor guard. Marshal? Keth bowed stiff. Asset, Majesty. Proven. Sarava eyed Rourke. Loyalty bridges divides. But whispers persist. Execution rumors to flush spies. Rourke tensed. Asha stepped forward. No. He stands with us. Sarava smiled faint. Test him further. Drake spoke of next strike, inner sanctum. Alarms wailed anew. Deep palace breach. Rourke raised rifle. Routine. Keth gripped his shoulder first trust. With us. Human. They charged as one. The sanctum doors buckled under shadow assault. Victory hung on the human's next step. Guards seized Sergeant Mason Rourke's arms from behind. Cold irons snapped around his wrists. Marshal Keth Ral loomed close, mandibles clicking fury. Accomplice to the breach. Seize him. Rourke twisted against the grip. 4 Veil guards pinned him. His rifle clattered to the sanctum floor. Dust settled from the buckled doors. Shadow raiders lay broken around them. Drake's remnants routed again. Princess Asha stood yards away, unharmed, her envoy robes torn but eyes wide. Evidence, Marshal? Rourke's voice cut calm through the clamor. He straightened, irons rattling. You charge me like I'm in command here? Keth's compound eyes narrowed. Your routine rushes. Perfect timing with their strikes. Spies whisper. Human sellswords tip Drake's hand. He gestured. At the fallen. This victory? Cover! Asha lunged forward. Lies. He charged first. Saved me twice. Guards shoved her back. Keth ignored her. Rourke scanned the room. No time for games. Field interrogation. Now. He jerked his chin at the floor tiles, scarred by blast marks. Map their angles. See for yourself. Keth hesitated. Guards tightened holds. Rourke dropped to one knee, dragging 2 down with him. He traced lines in the dust with his boot heel straight from shattered vents, curved from door breaches. Entry here. Reload, pause there. Detonator primed for this tile cluster. His finger stabbed a central scorch mark. Drake's pod synced it. I stripped the first one mid-rush. Yours missed the sync why they broke. Guards shifted uneasy. Keth crouched, mandibles twitching as he followed the lines. Impossible precision. How do you... Training. Rourke rose slow, eyes locked on Keth. Humans drill patterns till muscle memory owns them. Your troops rallied it. Team win. Alarms cut silent. Footsteps echoed heavy, regal. Queen Sarava Vale swept in with honor guard, her iridescent scales gleaming under torchlight. She surveyed the dead raiders, the mapped tiles, then Rourke in irons. Majesty! Keth snapped to salute. This... human. Orchestrated. Sarava raised a clawed hand. Silence fell. Her gaze pinned Rourke. Release him. Guards froze. Keth sputtered. But the whispers, I halt all execution orders. Sarava stepped closer, circling Rourke like a blade appraising steel. Loyalty bridges divides, Marshal. This human turns route to victory, twice now. She touched the detonator husk at his feet, Drake's prize, stripped and inert. He claims it as asset. I agree. Royal protection. Mine. Irons clanked open. Rourke rubbed wrists, nodded once. Appreciated, Majesty. But Drake's comms chatter next strike. Inner vaults. Sarava's eyes gleamed calculation. Then prove it further. Inspect that. She nodded at the detonator. Before my engineers paw it, Rourke knelt by the device. Veil Tech crystalline core, alien wiring pulsed faint blue. Human standard? No. But patterns matched his maps. 1 hour. Alone. No touches till I clear it. Keth bristled. Outrage. He's... Granted. Sarava's voice brooked no debate. Marshal, secure the perimeter. Princess, with me. Asha hesitated, glanced at Rourke. He gave a curt thumbs up. She nodded, followed her mother out. Keth glared as guards dragged off bodies. One mistake, human. You're dust. Routine. Rourke pulled tools from his vest multi-tool. Scanner scavenged from first raid. Hour started now. He pried the casing. Wires hummed feedback loop, rigged to chain palace generators. Drake's play. Blow the power grid. Mask a snatch on Asha. Concessions from chaos. Rourke traced circuits. Human fingers danced precise, isolating the trigger crystal. Click. It dimmed. Safe. 40 minutes in, alarms blared again. Not palace-wide targeted ping. Rourke snatched Drake's comms unit. Voice crackled. Corsair captain down? Inner vaults now. He bolted up. Keth. Breach incoming vault level. Marshall burst in with squad. How? Comms. Rourke tossed the detonator husk. Disarmed. Maps match vents from east wing. Keth snatched it. Scanned. Clear. You. Mandibles parted grudging respect. With us. They sprinted corridors. Veiled troops falling in. Rourke led. Rifle up. Asha waited at vault doors, flanked by Sarava's elites. Mother sent me. Back up. Smart. Rourke shouldered past. Doors hissed, open vaults glowed with crystal archives. Succession seals pulsing. Shadows stirred in the rafters. Raiders dropped 6 Corsairs, blades humming plasma. Rourke fired first. Chest hit. Raider tumbled. Troops mimicked. Veil volleys synced his rhythm. Asha dropped low. Her sidearm barking precise. 1 Corsair lunged at her. Rourke tackled midair. They crashed into shelves. Alien claws raked his armor. Gouges sparked. He locked elbow. Twisted. Snap. Raider went limp. Keth cleaved another from behind. Pattern holds. Last 2 broke for the seals. Rourke rolled, scooped a fallen blade. Threw, impaled, the first mid-leap. Asha nailed the second clean. Vault secured. Silence rang. Sarava entered calm. Report. Rourke wiped blood his own. Shallow. Drake's lieutenant. Targeted seals for crisis trigger. War bait. Queen nodded to Asha. He guards you still. Asha met Rourke's eyes. Loyalty earned. Keth clapped Rourke's shoulder firm now. Human discipline. We adapt it. But whispers lingered. A guard approached Sarava, mandibles low. Majesty. Court elders demand audience. Human presence. Embarrassment. Sarava's claws flexed. They fear strength they can't control. She turned to Rourke. One more test. Drake's fleet masses orbit side. Concessions or invasion. Rourke checked mags. Low. Borrow a squad? Keth grinned fangs. Ours. Pods thundered inbound Drake's revenge fleet, breaching atmosphere. Rourke mapped drop vectors on a console screen. Here. Sync. Rushes. Sarava watched him command troops like extensions. Weaponize mercy, Marshal. This human is no waste. They launched from battlements. Rourke's squad hit first pod dirt. Chokeholds dropped pilots. Veil fire pinned the rest. Asha covered his flank. Dropping a sniper. Explosion rocked central pad. Rourke dove through flames. Raider heavies reloading. He stripped their launcher. Turned it. Boom. Pod chain reaction lit the sky. Fleet broke. Retreating hyperspace flares. Victory sealed. Back in Throne Hall. Sarava raised crystal chalice. 2 bridges. Forged in fire. Rourke stood beside Asha. Elders glared from shadows. One hissed. Human taint. Sarava silenced him. He stops wars. You scheme them. Keth leaned in. But comms ping. Again. Deeper play. Rourke tensed. Drake's voice ghosted faint. Princess falls next. Inner blood. Asha paled. Rourke gripped rifle. Routine just got personal. Rourke slammed his boot on the throne hall console. The comms crackled dead under his heel. Drake's voice cut off mid-threat. Silence gripped the hall. Asha clutched her throat, pale frills quivering. Sarava's claws scraped stone. Elders hissed from shadows. That bomb vest, Rourke barked. Where's the detonator? A guard thrust it forward, a twisted lump of alien circuits and human-grade explosive residue. Rourke snatched it. Wires dangled. No time for niceties. He dropped to one knee. Throne hall workbench. Crystal decanter shards. A guard's vibro knife. Asha's jeweled hairpin. Improvised tools. Rourke pried the casing with the knife. Sparks flew. His fingers, calloused from 100 field strips, worked fast. One idea. Expose the core. Circuit board gleamed. Not standard demo charge. Too many micro-emitters. He yanked a wire. No boom. Good. Asha knelt beside him. Sergeant. It's inert. Not all of it. Rourke pinched the hairpin's tip, levered a panel. Tiny beacon-pulsed green tracker, broadcasting low band. Keth loomed. Human trickery? Rourke ignored him. Pinched emitter leads. Forced a ping. Signal burst wide. Console lit. Triangulation locked. Relay outside City Dome. Corsair skiff signature. Got him, Rourke said. Drake's spotter. Pinpointing Asha for snatch. Sarava rose. Proof? Rourke tapped the console. Holomap bloomed. Dome edge. Scrub lens. Enemy transponder blinking. 2 clicks north. Relay boosts to fleet. 2. Asha's frills flared resolve. Covert sortie. Now. Sergeant Rourke leads. Elders buzzed outrage. Princess. Protocol. Overrides. Asha stood tall. I assign myself to his team. Drake wants inner blood. We spill his first. Drake wants. Asha stored of crews. Keth blocked the archway. Fangs bared. No. Human commands no veil squad. Palace embarrassment enough. Rourke shouldered his rifle. Squad gear waited in the bays, low mags. But enough. Goal. Launch. This clown. The obstacle. Marshal. Rourke said. Live readiness drill. You versus my play. Hangar floor. Winner green lights. Sortie. Keth's mandibles clicked amusement. You die quick, off-worlder. Hangar thrummed. Pods hummed idle. Rourke's borrowed squad, 6 veiled troopers formed wedge behind him. Asha gripped her pulse rifle. Eyes locked on his back. Keth marched 20 elites. Full kit, plasma lances, shield bracers. Dome lights glared off their carapace. Rules. Keth snarled. First flag capture. No kills. Crankston. Crankston 17. Rourke nodded. Humans trained this daily. Routine sims. Veil. Palace parades. Whistle blew. Keth's line charged, coordinated stomp, lances high. Energy shields flickered blue. Rourke dropped low. Wedge. Left flank. Peel. Asha. High cover. Troopers fanned. Rourke rolled under first lance. Boot hooked a bracer. Shield shorted on pavement. Veil gasped. Keth roared pivot. Asha's shots pinged shields. 2 elites staggered. Visors cracked. Rourke sprang. Grabbed downed lance. Reversed thrust non-lethal prod to neck joints. Elite dropped. Squad flowed. Human discipline clicked. Bound angles. No bunching. Veil mirrored fast. Learning mid-stride. Keth. Lunged solo. Lance arced for Rourke's chest. Rourke sidestepped. Routine footwork. Elbow cracked mandible guard. Keth reeled. Yield. Rourke pressed. Lance tipped to throat. Keth froze. Squad halted. His elites panted. Flags exposed. Drill yours. Keth spat blood. Grabbed Rourke's arm. Pulled him close. How? Palace troops falter. You. Routine. Training, Rourke said. Flat. No brag. Every day. Asha snatched enemy flag. Cheers erupted. Keth straightened. Sortie. Launches. I join. Pods sealed. Six Veil. Asha. Rourke. Keth. Dome. Eye-rised open. Scrubland rushed below. Relay site. Crashed skiff. 3 Corsairs on watch. Dome edge winds howled dust. Pod touched silent. Rourke signaled breach. Troopers stacked. Keth flanked left. Eyes sharp now, trust earned in sweat. Rourke kicked door. Suppressor coughs dropped first sentry. Headshot clean. Corsairs spun. Plasma bolts scorched air. Asha's rifle barked. Second down. Chest bloom. Keth charged third. Claws raked armor. Corsair fired wild. Rourke flanked. Rifle butt caved helmet. Relay console sparked. Jam it, Rourke ordered. Keth smashed emitter. Signal died, but skiff console beeped. Hollow bloomed. Drake's face. Scarred and grinning. Too late. Veil. Strike team inbound. Princess mine. Rourke scanned scopes. Dust clouds, 6 raiders on grav bikes, closing fast. Ambush flip, he said. Squad, barricade skiff. Bikes screamed in. Bolters chattered. Veil fire answered. 1 bike flipped, rider tumbling. Rourke prone fired. Human aim. Steady. Breath controlled. Dropped lead rider. Bike exploded. Shrapnel pinging. Asha reloaded beside him. They target me. Use it. Rourke tossed grenade. She nodded. Stepped bold into open. Raiders veered. Bolts converging. Keth roared. Leaped from flank. Plasma lance impaling driver. Bike crumpled. Rourke's squad poured fire. Last 2 bikes swerved. 1 grazed Asha, frill scorched. She dropped it cold. Rifle. Bucked. True. Dust settled. Raiders down. Keth clapped Rourke's shoulder. Your drill. Saved us. Asha bandaged her frill. Met Rourke's eyes. Sarava's voice crackled comms. Report. Relay dead, Rourke said. Drake's strike smashed. Elders silent this time. Pod liftoff hummed. City dome swelled, but console pinged faint. New signal from palace depths. Rourke tensed. Inner blood, Drake said. Not over. Back in throne hall, Sarava waited. Chalice raised again. Victory shared. Quote. Keth nodded to Rourke. No fangs now. Respect. Asha leaned close. Whispered. Stay. Rourke checked mags. 1 left. Personal, now meant permanent. Guard burst in. Majesty. Breach in vaults. Tracker signature human bomb tech. Sarava's claws flexed. Elders perked. Rourke gripped rifle. Drake played deeper. Palace heart. With me, Asha said. They ran. Corridors echoed boots. Vault doors buckled. Inside. Court elder. Collared with fresh detonator. Green beacon pulsed. Traitor hissed. For purity. Rourke moved first. Knife out. Disassembled mid-leap. Tracker isolated. Ping forced. Triangulated. Drake's mothership. Orbit. But elder lunged claws. Keth tackled him. Mandibles locked. Serava entered. Execute. No, Rourke said. Interrogate. Fleet vectors. She paused. Eyed him. Mercy weaponized. Elder broke. Spilled codes. Drake's concession. Ploy princess dead. Elders. Seize throne. Pods thundered again. Real invasion vector. Rourke mapped rushes. Sink here. Keth. Heavies. Asha. Snipers. They launched. Battlements blazed. Rourke's squad hit first. Chokeholds, stripped launchers, chain reactions lit sky. Fleet shattered. Hyperspace flares retreated. Hall again. Sarava toasted. Bridges forged. Elders bowed low. Keth gripped Rourke's hand. Human normal. Our extraordinary. Asha smiled. Frill healed. Rourke nodded. Routine saved worlds. Humble bridge. But deep comms whispered. Drake fled. Not broken. Next raid personal. Rourke slammed the breaching charge against the mock vault door. Stack up. 3 seconds, or we eat sim rounds. Keth's squad fumbled into position. Their frilled necks flared in rigid formation ceremonial precision, not combat flow. Lance Corporal Vex, lead point, mandibles clicking countdown. Timer beeped. They breached. Door exploded inward. Vex charged straight, claws high. The rest funneled behind, blocking lanes. Rourke yanked Vex back mid-stride. Wrong stack. Point flanks left. Grenadier covers high right. Rear secures 6. He shoved them into new order. Sim defenders popped from vents, holo projections, spitting laser tags. Vex pivoted too slow. Tag lit his chest plate red. Out! Rourke barked. Squad pressed, but clustered. Tags bloomed across frills and carapaces. Timer died. Keth crossed his arms from the observation deck. Human games waste time. Our rights demand order. Rourke wiped sim smoke from his visor. Rights lose wars. Run it again. My way. Vex hissed, but reformed. Frills tucked low, no protest. They stacked fluid now, mimicking Rourke's gestures. Breach. Flank. Clear. 28 seconds. Green lights. Keth grunted. Squad saluted sharper. Rourke signaled next drill. Hard corridor assault. Defenders lock the kill zone. We pull him off. He lobbed smoke grenades down the tube-lit hall. Thick gray billowed, clawing sensors. Flashbangs cracked behind noise to overload audio implants. Decoy drones whirred from side vents, mimicking troop advance. Sim defenders shifted. Hollow claws swiveled toward noise. Rourke's squad low-crawled the flank pipe, mag clamps gripping rungs. Go! Rourke dropped first, rifle sweeping. Squad followed, frills sealed against irritant. They hit the corridor end. Vex popped a real breaching puck, authorized for realism. Door shredded. Inside, empty nest. Defenders chasing ghosts. Keth's eyes narrowed. Clever. Unorthodox. Not clever, Rourke said, reloading. Routine. Infantry. 101. Squad beamed tags on the holos before they wheeled back. Clear in 19 seconds. Keth vaulted the rail, carapace gleaming under lights. Again. Best troops only. He summoned elites. His honor guard, fangs etched with campaign scars. They sneered at Rourke's human frame, no frills, no natural armor. Second pass. They ignored smoke, charged the hard way. Pride straight line. Tags erased them. 52 seconds. Worse. Vex laughed, frill pulsing. Elites stiffened. Keth stared at the holo's replay. Smoke tricked their vaunted senses. Decoys fooled thermal pings. Human noise drowned Mandible's subsonic calls. Sign it, Rourke said, slapping the sortie pad. Real op. Drake's raiders probe weak vectors. We hit their forward pods before orbit drop. Keth's claw hovered. Palace elders whispered, of human overreach. Last victory bought mercy. Not command. One mistake. And Rourke faced the spike pit. Your squad failed, Rourke pressed. Ink scratched. Authorization glowed green. Alarms wailed. Real klaxons, not sim. Pods inbound. Vex yelled. Drake's mark. Training turned live. Rourke grabbed his rifle. Dropship. Now. They sprinted hangar-ward. Frills flared panic-wide. Keth barked orders, heavies mounting turrets. Asha burst from side corridor. Robes hiked, frill scarred but healed. Sergeant! Vectors match your map. Rourke nodded, slapping harness mags. Princess. Strap in. Guards my signals only. Dropship ramp hissed open. Asha dove into the crash seat, claws buckling belts. Her 4 guards piled in. eyes darting to Keth for confirmation. Keth waved them off. Human leads breach. Follow. Pilot gunned thrusters. Ship lurched skyward. G-forces pinning frills flat. Rourke patched helmet feed. Scans. 3 pods. Hard landing East Ridge. Defenders. Stacking ceremonial same mistake. Asha leaned forward. Voice steady over roar. They target me. Succession. Trigger. Not today. Rourke signaled. Drop. Closed fist. Then slice. Guards mirrored flawless from drills. Dropship banked hard. Enemy fire stitched hull. Evasive. Pilot snarled. Rourke prepped charges. Smoke packs. Decoys. His 1 mag left personal now. Pods bloomed fire on ridge. Corsairs spilled out. Drake's banner flapping. Black claws on red void. Touchdown hot. Ship slammed dirt. Ramp dropped. Rourke rolled out first. Smoke arcing high. Gray clouds swallowed ridge. Flashbangs popped deafening cracks, masking mandible chatter. Corsairs wheeled toward noise. Decoy drones buzzed from vents Rourke had pre-rigged in training mock-ups, real vents now. Flank, Rourke signed. Vex led squad left, low crawl through pipe trench. Asha's guards peeled right, her signals syncing theirs. She clutched a sidearm, frill pulsing resolve. Keth's heavies thumped behind, plasma cannons, whining charge. Corsairs funneled the hard corridor bottlenecked ridge path to palace vaults. Ceremonial stack, straight charge. Rourke grinned under visor. Routine. He slapped breaching pucks on ridge wall. Squad stacked his rewrite. Point flank. Grenadier high right. Rear 6. Boom. Wall crumbled. They poured through side breach. Corsairs spun too late. Vex's claws ripped throats. Guards sniped from Asha's wing-precise bursts. Keth's plasma erased the stack. Chain melts lit the gray. 1 Corsair broke through smoke, claws gleaming. Aimed for Asha. Rourke tackled. Knife flashed, disarmed, mid-leap. He drove elbow into frill joint. Crack. Corsair slumped. Asha exhaled. Your routine. Hold position, Rourke ordered. Scanned feeds. Pods silenced. Drake's mothership blinked retreat flare. But deep scan pinged. Shadow runner, cloaked. Vectoring, palace heart. Personal. Keth gripped Rourke's shoulder. Claws firm, no fangs. Authorization extended. Vaults next. Asha unstrapped. With you, Sergeant. Rourke checked his last mag. Loyalty bridged now. But Drake played deeper. They ran. Rourke kicked in the relay shack's outer hatch. Sparks flew from mangled hinges. He rolled inside, rifle sweeping the dim console glow. Vents hummed overhead. Alien script flickered on screens, Corsair overrides pulsing red. Power node, left bulkhead, he barked. Squad fanned in behind. Vex's claws clicked on grating. Asha's guards stacked tight, frills taut. Keth's heavies covered the breach. Barrels hot. Corsair chatter spiked through his earpiece. Too close. Rourke vaulted a server rack. His knife bit into the power conduit. Wires snapped. Lights died. The main transmitter whined down, silenced. Comms black. Vex growled. Runner blind now. Asha clutched her sidearm. Her frill pulsed green relief. Sergeant. That's... Plasma cracked the air. Rourke dove. A blade speared his shoulder plate from shadow. Metal screeched. Pain lanced hot. He twisted, glimpsed Drake's scarred frill through visor haze. Corsair captain grinned fangs. Human meat shield. Drake yanked the blade free. Rourke staggered, blood slicking armor. Squad fired, blind bursts lit the dark. Vex shredded a flanker. Keth's plasma chewed the doorframe. But Drake lunged again, claws raking Rourke's chest plate. Pinned. Rourke slammed his rifle butt into Drake's frill joint. Crack. Crack. Asha's sidearm barked. Lieutenant's head snapped back, ichor spraying. She dropped low. Grabbed Rourke's harness. Move, Her guards laid cover fire. Asha dragged him strength, surprising for her frame. They slid behind generator housing. Hum shielded them. Rourke's vision blurred. Shoulder throbbed. Blood pooled under pauldron. "Stay down," she hissed. Frill flared orange, fear edged with steel. She peeked, fired twice. Corsair yelped. Rourke gritted teeth. Routine. He ripped field tape from vest. Peeled back plate. Wound gaped clean through muscle. No artery. He sprayed sealant. Taped it shut. Pressure built. Pain sharpened focus. "Console," he grunted. Grabbed her arm. "Cover me." Asha nodded. Reloaded. Her shots pinged off Drake's cover precise. No waste. Rourke low-crawled to the relay console. Sparks danced from his cut. He jacked in his override spike human mil-spec. Alien nets no match. Fingers flew. Perimeter locks engaged. Dome hatches slammed shut outside. Corsairs howled. Trapped. Drake roared from shadows. "Runners in the vaults! You die first!" "Human!" Rourke patched squad net. Keth, heavies on the bastard. Vex flank vents. Asha. She fired again. Drake ducked. "I'm not leaving you." Plasma bloomed. Keth's cannon erased Drake's position. Smoke billowed. Rourke stood, rifle up. Shoulder burned, but grip steady. Squad tightened. "Perimeter sealed," Rourke said. "Runners alone now." Keth lumbered close, claws flexing. No distrust in his stance. "You turn their trap." "How?" "Training," Rourke said. Flat. No brag. Asha holstered her sidearm. Touched his tape job. "You bleed for us." "Job," he replied. Scanned feeds. Runner pinged deeper royal crypts. Princess's vault. Succession seals. They moved. Corridor narrowed to vault antechamber. Air chilled. Glow crystals hummed along walls. Veil ancestral markers. Aisha's frill dimmed blue. Home ground. Rourke signaled halt. Motion sensor pinged. Cloaked. Runner decloaked. Hulking Corsair in stealth weave. Bomb pack strapped. Aimed demolition charge at crypt door. "Princess seal," Asha whispered. Urgency sharpened her trill. "Capture me there." War cascades. Rourke didn't hesitate. Slapped suppressors on squad muzzles. Signed. Silent kills. Vex led claws first. Guards mirrored. Keth anchored rear. Rourke peeled right with Asha, her shots his overwatch. Runner spun at scratch. Too late. Vex's talons sank throat. Guards, double tapped. It slumped silent. Rourke cleared the pack. Disarmed. Asha exhaled. Frill brightened. Crisis averted. Keth keyed palace net. Queen inbound. Secure. Rourke reloaded. Routine held. But feeds glitched external ping. Mothership? No. Court channels lit. Marshal's override. Drake laughed from trapped perimeter. Amplified. "Hear that, human?" Ral calls execution. "Palace embarrassment you." Rourke frowned. Shoulder throbbed. Squad tensed. Asha gripped his arm. "No." Keth's frill darkened. "Ral distrusts your routine." Fears Queen's favor shifts power. Footsteps echoed. Palace guards, not Keth's. Blasters leveled. Marshal Ral strode in, fangs bared. "Sergeant Rourke. For unsanctioned breach and alien endangerment detain." Aisha stepped forward. "Marshal." "He saved." "Silence, Princess." Ral's claws gestured. "Queen's policy bends for no pet warrior. If you have no." Rourke lowered rifle. Slow. "Routine," Rourke said. "Calm. Check feeds." Runner stopped. Ral sneered. "Feeds lie. Drake's concession ploy your heroics bait. Execute now. End farce." Asha's frill flared crimson. "Mother decides." Doors hissed. Queen Sarava entered. Regal plates gleamed under crystals. Eyes locked Rourke. Calculating. Marshal. Her voice cut silk steel. Report. Rahl bowed. Majesty. Human overstepped. Corsairs baited him. Silence. Queen scanned feeds. Paused on Rourke's tape job. He breached transmitter. Sealed perimeter. Neutralized runner. Crisis contained. Rahl stiffened. But optics. Optics waste assets. Queen circled Rourke. Claws brushed his shoulder. This one bleeds loyalty. Proven. Queen. Queen. Asha exhaled. Frill synced Mother's gold. Keth nodded. Commander concurs, Majesty. Queen faced Rahl. Weaponize mercy, Marshal. Rourke protects succession. Assign him. Rahl's frill twitched. Bowed deep. As you command. Rourke met her gaze. No words. Job evolved. But external pings spiked. Mothership decloaked full assault vector. Drake's trapped voice crackled. Burn the dome. Queen's eyes hardened. Sergeant. Rourke checked mags. Squads stacked. They charged out. Perimeter dome rattled Corsair rams pounding locks. Vex rigged vents with grenades. Keth's heavies powered up. Rourke hit console again. Overrode outer fields funneled attackers into killbox. Drake smashed through a seam. Claws led. For the princess! Asha fired first. Hit. Rourke followed burst center mass. Drake staggered. Squad poured lead. Plasma erased flanks. Corsairs piled wreckage. Drake lunged final leap. Rourke sidestepped. Drove knife home. Twist. Done. Mothership veered off. Retreat flare. Queen watched from vault. Loyalty bridges. Asha stood by Rourke. Hand on his arm. Trust sealed. But Rahl's eyes narrowed from shadows. Politics simmered. Next raid. Brood. Rourke taped a fresh micro-tier. Scanned horizon. Marshal Keth Rahl's claw slammed the podium. Unauthorized lethal force. Sergeant Rourke breached secure relay protocols. Executed 3 runners without command clearance. I charge him with endangerment of royal assets. Execution now. Rourke stood rigid in the vaulted court chamber. Manacles bit his wrists. Alien eyes, hundreds fixed on him. Frills pulsed red with accusation. He scanned faces. Princess Asha gripped her throne arm. Queen Sarava lounged above. Gold frill steady. Keth thrust a data slate forward. Holo feed replayed the relay breach. Rourke's knife flash. Bodies slump. Optics demand it, Majesty. Human loose cannon. Shames the crown. Murmurs rippled. Courtier's claws clicked approval. Queen Sarava rose. Her voice cut silk sharp. Wartime Statute 47 Alpha. All proven defenders fall under direct royal aegis. Rourke contained crisis. Saved succession. Charge dismissed. Keth's frill flared violet. Majesty. He acted rogue. Perimeter breach invited the ram assault. Invited victory. Sarava's gaze pinned him. Asha exhaled. Her frill synced gold. Courtiers shifted. Whispers died. Rourke tested manacles. Flexed fingers. No yield. He met Sarava's eyes. Sanctuary's a cage, Majesty. Corsairs regroup. Intel pinged their vector shift. Relay survivors signaled mothership. They'll hit convoy relays next. I lead. Intercept. Now. Gasps echoed. Keth barked. Insolence. Human presumes command? Sarava's claw silenced him. She circled Rourke's dock. Claws grazed his fatigues, testing scars. Bold. Proven. You refuse protection? Job's not done. Rourke's voice stayed flat. Squad tactics. Funnel them. End it. Wad. Her frill pulsed approval. Marshal Rahl. Provide troops. Or tender resignation. Keth stiffened. Claws curled. Majesty. Choose. Keth bowed deep. Frill dimmed blue. Troops assigned. 50 heavies. Under my oversight. Sarava snapped fingers. Manacles clicked open. Princess Asha. Escort Sergeant Rourke. Legal bond. His actions yours. Asha slid from throne. Her scales gleamed envoy blue. She linked arm to Rourke's. Warmth pressed through sleeve. Honored, Sergeant. Frill syncs with you. Rourke nodded once. No smile. Routine shifted. Alien escort. Forced squad. He checked wrist comp. Mothership decloak in 47 minutes. Gear up. Killbox prep. Keth snarled orders. Troops double-timed from shadows. Heavies lumbered. Plasma lances humming. Vex drones whirred to life. Rourke let out. Aisha matched stride. Court faded behind vault doors. Perimeter dome hummed. Wreckage smoked from Drake's rams. Rourke knelt at console. Overrode fields again. Funnels primed. Keth loomed. Human leads? My troops follow protocol. Protocol dies in breach. Rourke taped mags. Stood. Stack left flank. Heavies anchor killbox. Asha vents with me. Asha nodded. Drew sidearm. Vents. Rigged. Grenades. Live. Keth's frill twitched distrust. But troops stacked. Lances. Powered. External pings spiked. Mothership decloaked 3 rams inbound. Corsair claws glinted on hulls. Contact. Rourke barked. Funnel active. Rams slammed outer fields. Dome rattled. Funnels herded them single file into killbox. Corsairs poured through seam. Claws raised. For concessions. Throne falls. Asha fired from vent. Hit leader scales burst. Rourke burst cover. Rifle chattered center mass. 2 down. Heavies unleashed. Plasma arcs vaporized flanks. Corsairs piled wreckage. Pinned. Keth directed lances. Flank hold. 1 heavy staggered claw rake. Rourke sidestepped. Knife twist. Enemy gurgled. Push. Rourke vaulted debris. Burst dropped 3. Routine. Assess. Engage. Clear. Aisha flanked him. Sidearm barked. Sink. Perfect. Corsair ram captain roared through smoke. Claws extended. Princess mine. He lunged. Rourke rolled. Drove boot into knee. Crack. Rifle butt crushed windpipe. Done. Mothership veered. Retreat flare lit horizon. Keth wiped ichor. Eyed Rourke. Frill shifted. Respect blue. Casualties minimal. Corsairs routed. Asha touched Rourke's arm. Frill gold-locked his gaze. Rourke taped microtear. Scanned scopes. Clean. Alarms blared anew. Relay net flashed. Secondary Corsair wing, Drake's reserves. Bearing on Palace convoy. Keth growled. They adapt. Sarava's voice crackled comms. Sergeant. Intercept convoy. Princess escorts. Marshal troops double. Rourke checked mags. Squad restacked. Routine, he said. They boarded dropship. Thrusters ignited. Convoy thundered across Badlands. Sarava's banners whipped dust. Transports hauled succession vaults, crystal relics, war codes. Asha rode lead shuttle. Rourke braced beside her. Keth's heavies crammed holds. ETA 5. Pilot frilled. Rourke scanned scopes. Pings multiplied. Ambush vector. Flank dunes. Corsairs decloaked. 6 rams. Claws locked. Volts ours. Princess yields. Dropship shuddered. Hits glancing. Rourke hit harness release. Breach left. Heavies cover. Asha vents. Doors blew. Wind howled. Squad repelled dune. Corsairs swarmed transport. Claws pried hulls. Rourke landed rolling. Rifle spat. 2 down. Funnel them. Heavies formed wall. Lances carved arcs. Corsairs funneled straight into Rourke's burst line. Asha, Dropped vents. Grenades are fed. Explosions ripped claws. Keth charged. Lance impaled ram hull. Hold. One Corsair broke. Leapt for Aisha's shuttle. Rourke sprinted. Tackled midair. Knife plunged. Twist. Shuttle stabilized. Vaults secure. Corsairs broke. Motherships fled. Asha landed. Frill blazed gold. Loyalty bridges crises. Keth clasped Rourke's shoulder first time. Human discipline. Extraordinary. My error. Sarava's shuttle touched. She emerged. Claws approved. Weapon mercy wins wars. Sergeant permanent aegis. Rourke nodded. No boast. Squad intact? Keth grinned Frill. Intact. Horizon pinged faint. Deeper threat brewed. Drake's core fleet? Routine waited. Court reconvened at Palace Spire. Banners furled victory, but Keth lingered shadows. Old charge simmered? No. He stepped forward. Majesty. Recommend Rourke for Legion command. Sarava's frill pulsed. Asha beamed. Rourke taped gear. Scanned feeds. Ping spiked fleet inbound. Next intercept, he said. They mobilized. Corsair Corps decloaked full. 20 rams. Drake's banner revenge claws. Rourke stacked squad. Aisha synced. Keth anchored. Dome fields funneled. Rams smashed in. Battle raged. Bursts. Lances. Grenades. Rourke sidestepped Drake's elite. Knife home. Captain fell. Fleet shattered. Retreat total. Queen clasped Rourke's hand. Bridge eternal. Asha leaned close. Trust. Sealed. Politics dissolved. Loyalty reigned. Rourke scanned horizon. Routine complete. But pings whispered more. Always more. He checked mags. Squad ready. Grenades rattled down the service tunnel. Rourke ducked behind a bulkhead strut. Shrapnel pinged off his armor. Corsair claws scraped concrete ahead Drake's elite strike team, funneled right where he wanted them. 3 tangos, left fork. Asha's voice crackled in his earpiece. Her frill feed icon blinked green on his HUD. Palace sensors painted their heat signatures in real time. 2 more, sealing the far vent. I've jammed their comms relay. Rourke slapped a breaching charge on the tunnel wall. Copy. Bait set. He fired a flare round back the way they'd come. It burst orange, silhouetting their armored hulks. The Corsairs surged forward, lances humming. He bolted. Boots pounded grated floor. The tunnel narrowed perfect choke point. Drake's voice snarled over intercepted audio. Flush the human. Princess is priority. Rourke spun at the junction. His squad carbine barked. First Corsair dropped, lance clattering. Second lunged. Rourke sidestepped, drove elbow into its frill. Choked, gasp. Knife flashed severed neck ridge. Third fired wild. Rourke rolled. Tagged its knee joint. It crumpled. Aisha's update. Drake's with the rear pair. 40 meters. Collapsing escape now. Explosives thundered behind the team. Ceiling groaned. Dust choked the air. Escape route gone. Corsairs bellowed in panic. Rourke advanced, methodical. Pop pop. 2 down. Drake burst from shadow, claws extended, personal shield flickering. You! Drake roared, his lance thrust like a spear. Rourke parried with rifle stock. Crack. Sparks flew. They grappled. Drake's strength pressed alien bulk versus human grit. Rourke twisted, used the Corsair's momentum, slammed him into the wall, shield shorted. Asha. Sensors clear. No reinforcements. Sensors clear. No reinforcements. No reinforcements. Rourke pinned Drake's arm. Zip ties bit deep. Broadcast time, Captain. He yanked the comm unit from Drake's harness, forced the barrel under his chin. Stand down your fleet. Now. Now. 7. Drake spat blood. Frill quivered purple rage. Throne falls today. Throne falls today. Rourke thumbed the channel open. Live feed to the Corsair motherships. This is Sergeant Rourke. Drake's mine. Pull back, or he dies first. He pressed harder. Drake hissed compliance. All ships. Stand down. Retreat. Vector 7. Confirmations pinged across the net. Enemy signatures peeled away from the palace dome. Rourke hauled Drake up. Squad secured the rest. Keth's voice cut in. Tunnel secure. Rams withdrawing. By noon, Drake knelt in the palace throne room, claws bound, Corsair banners furled at his feet. Queen Sarava's frill pulsed regal blue. She surveyed the chamber, nobles shifted, Marshal Keth stood rigid. Rourke flanked Princess Asha. Her scales gleamed under vault lights. She nodded to him, frill gold with trust. Sarava rose. Voice echoed. Corsair Captain Drake, you struck at dawn for my heir. By noon, a human's restraint kneels you. Gasps rippled. She turned to Rourke. Sergeant Mason Rourke. Court whispers execution for your methods. Unchained blades in sacred halls. Keth stepped forward, frill tight. Majesty. He bypassed protocols. Human discipline risks. Silence. Sarava's claw silenced him. He turned crisis to victory. Baited your vaunted rams into scrap. Captured their lord alive. She extended a claw. Rourke clasped it firm. No flourish. Mercy is my policy. Weaponized. Asha leaned close. Whispered. They plotted my capture to spark war. You bridged it. Sarava raised her voice. I pardon Sergeant Rourke. Publicly. And appoint him standing protector to Princess Asha Vale. His loyalty guards the succession. Cheers erupted. Nobles' frills flared approval. Keth's jaw clenched, then relaxed. He saluted Rourke crisp. Rourke scanned the room. Exits clear. Feeds quiet. Routine held, but pings whispered from the horizon. Drake's allies? He checked mags. Squad ready. Dawn broke with screams. Corsair rams punched through the outer dome. Alarms wailed. Rourke vaulted from his bunk in the protector wing. Gear on in seconds. Carbine slung. Asha, status. Her voice steady. Strike team inbound service tunnels. Sensors lighting up. I'm at Central Nexus. He sprinted corridors. Palace shook. Bulkheads sealed behind him. Keth squads mobilized topside. Lances flashing against ram hulls. But Drake's elites slipped below, hunting the princess. Rourke reached the tunnels. Vents hissed steam. He primed bait. A decoy beacon pulsing Asha's signature. Footsteps echoed. Claws on metal. First Corsair rounded the bend. Rourke fired. Center mass. It tumbled. Two more charged. He backpedaled, drawing them deeper. Narrowed walls funneled them single file. Asha's feed. Positions locked. Rear guard 12 meters back. Drake confirmed. Grenades arced past. Rourke dove. Blast scorched air. He countered with flashbang. Corsairs reeled, frills spasming. Knife work followed. Slash. Stab. Bodies piled. Drake's elites closed. 4 now. Shields up. Rourke slapped charges on the ceiling struts. Collapsing in 10. They pressed. Lances probed. He danced the line, human footwork evading bulkier swings. Pop. Shield down. Pop. Leg shot. Asha vectored. Left flank clear. Right evade. He spun. Lance grazed armor. Rourke grappled the wielder. Used it as shield against the next. Twin blasts shredded the pair. Last one fled toward the collapse zone. Boom. Tunnel mouth sealed. Dust settled. Drake emerged alone. Roaring. Human. Filth. Rourke leveled rifle. End it here. Drake lunged. Raw power. Rourke sidestepped, tripped him into debris. Mounted. Punches landed. Frill bruised. Drake bucked. Rourke locked armbar. Snap. Corsair howled. Come. Rourke growled. Yanked the unit free. Broadcast surrender. Fleet stands down. Drake glared. But Payne won. All units. Abort. Drake captured. Withdraw. Rourke dragged him topside. Keth's forces mopped remnants. Rams fled vacuum. Asha waited at the throne dais. Frill blazed. You turned their raid to dust. Queen Sarava arrived. Surveyed the bound. Drake. Nobles assembled tense frills. Keth protested. Majesty, this human operates without chain of command. Execution. Sarava's gaze pinned him. He saved my bloodline. Baited death into traps. Captured the Raider Lord. She faced Rourke. Pardoned. And bound to Asha. As the Aegis Eternal, Asha clasped his arm. Trust sealed in grip. Rourke nodded. Horizon scanned. Pings faint. Routine. Corsair rams decloaked at dawn. 20 strong. Drake's revenge banner led. Palace dome fields funneled them. Rourke stacked his squad in the service levels. Aisha synced sensors from the Nexus. Keth anchored the upper defense. Impacts shook foundations. Alarms blared. Rourke baited the elites flare into the main tunnel. They poured in. Claws gleaming. Aisha's voice,